Welcome once again, everybody, to another one of our at-home table reads. Tonight we are going to tackle an unproduced X-Men film, X-Men Fear the Beast. This one was supposed to be a sequel to X-Men Apocalypse, but, well, they decided to go a different route with it. For our cast tonight, we have, on action description, Jeremy Weinreich. As you can see by his costume, he's also going to be taking on a very famous Canadian who appears later on in the film. As Hank McCoy, we have Johnny. He is right there. As Ahnah, the young Inuit we see throughout the film, we get Mary Pat. There she is. I'm going to be Charles Xavier for this one. As Dr. Paul Cartier, along with a few others, we have Erik. He is down there. As Bunkei, along with a few others, we have Hunter. And as Seelah, along with Sheriff Joe, we've got Rudy. Taking it right down there. All right. Well, Jeremy, take us away.
Thanks, Logan. All right, X-Men Fear the Beast, story by Byron Burton and John Ottman, screenplay by Byron Burton. Sometimes to stop a monster, you have to become one. Black screen, a cold wind swirls in the background. Fade in, exterior, snowy wilderness day. Falling snow causes a near whiteout. Super. He who makes a beast of himself gets rid of the pain of being a man. Samuel Johnson. We move through the trees at a slow rate. The camera begins to shake. It bounces in a distinct rhythm as if it were riding a bull. The camera is actually a point of view of a tall creature sprinting through the woods. Its warm breath fogs the camera as it gains on a fleeing black-tailed exterior log cabin day. A serene landscape surrounds the small cabin. Seelah, 18, a dark-skinned Inuit male, chops wood near the shed. He looks serious, not one to engage in fun. His sister, Bunkei, 8, is the exact opposite. She plays with a volleyball near the forest's edge. Bunkei throws the white ball into the air and catches it. The simple act amuses her. The child's joy seems to agitate Seelah. He swings his axe more forcefully. The wood splinters, hitting him in the eye. Seelah drops the axe in anger. Bunkei giggles as she throws the ball higher and higher.
Hey, cut it out.
Bunkei catches the ball and looks at Seelah. There's movement in the brush behind her. A deer leaps out and sprints across their property. Bunkei watches it run, then resumes tossing the ball. Seelah storms toward his sister. He catches the ball and kicks it deep into the woods. Bunkei falls silent, her eyes well up with tears.
Mom!
Stop crying, Bunkei.
The angry teen hikes into the woods as tears freeze on Bunkei's cheeks. Seelah's boots crunch in the fresh snow. It's the only sound emanating from the woods. Seelah's crunching boots come to a sudden stop. Bunkei stares into the woods, looking nervous.
Seelah?
A chilling scream fills the air, followed by a thud.
Mom!
The cabin. Ahnah, 37, a dark-skinned beauty, steps out of the cabin. She wipes a skillet with a rag.
What is it, Bunkei?
Bunkei's volleyball rolls down the hill. It's covered in red blood. Bunkei screams. The camera zooms along the path of the volleyball, rushing into the woods. Cut into intro credits. Fade in, exterior secluded town day, super, 1 month later. The rural town is covered in snow. Several vehicles are parked outside the town's largest building, the bar. All of the cars are a decade old and heavily dented. No one is prospering in this neck of the woods. Exterior gruff bar day. Ethan, 41, a sturdy lumberjack, exits the bar. The unkempt man staggers to the edge of the bar's porch. Ethan unzips his pants and pisses on the white snow. He grins as steam rises into the air. Ahnah and Bunkei walk down the street. The strong woman drags a sled full of fresh fish. Bunkei wears a heavy backpack. Ethan glares at them, still pissing.
We don't need any fish.
Bunkei moves closer to her mom. They enter the local supply store. Sheriff Joe Adams, 45, a fit country fella, exits the courthouse across the street.
Take it around back, Ethan.
Finishing up, Joe.
The sheriff shakes his head as Ethan zips his pants. Interior supply store day. Mr. Ed Jones, 72, bald and charming, stands behind the counter. Ahnah and Bunkei approach him with their fish.
Morning, Ahnah.
Jones.
What do we have today?
46 pounds.
Now, let me check the freezer.
Mr. Jones walks to the corner. He opens up a giant freezer.
Looks like I've got a few left. I could take half of them.
Mr. Jones.
I'm not sure they are, but good fish still rot.
Please, take all the fish. Whatever you can pay, I'll take it.
Mr. Jones looks sympathetic. He reaches into the cash register. He hands Ahnah 3 20s. Ahnah takes the money. She loads the fish into the freezer. Bunkei stares at the peppermint candy jar on the counter. Mr. Jones takes notice.
You like sweets?
Bunkei nods, still very shy.
Have a treat.
Mr. Jones opens the jar. He hands her 2 candies.
Thank you.
Bunkei puts one of the peppermints in her mouth. She offers the other piece of candy to Mr. Jones.
You want one?
You keep it. I got plenty.
Ahnah grabs her sled and heads for the door.
Come on, Bunkei.
Mr. Jones smiles as they exit his store. He bends down and works below the counter. The bell attached to the entrance rings. Mr. Jones stands up, still smiling.
Forget something?
His smile vanishes. When he spots 3 gruff-looking locals, Ethan leads the group. He's followed by Dave, 39, a red-bearded man built like a rhino, and another townie.
I thought we agreed you were done trading with savages. That was before she lost her son.
Dave lifts the lid on the freezer. He spits on Ahnah's fish.
I don't remember any handouts when my old man lost the sawmill.
Ethan takes out his knife. He cleans under his fingernails.
As I recall, you wouldn't even buy his furs. You said the Inuits made a better deal. That was a long time ago, Ethan.
Ethan taps the knife against his lips. It looks like he's thinking about killing Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones glances at the townie. He sees a pistol tucked into the front of his pants.
I think it's best if you took some time off, for their sake.
All 3 men glare at Mr. Jones. He senses the danger.
I'll close up when you leave. Good man.
Exterior rural road day. Ahnah and Bunkei walk along the snow-covered road. Sheriff Joe's brown SUV pulls up beside them. He rolls down the driver's window. Roscoe, his canine partner, sits in the passenger seat.
You girls want a lift?
Bunkei grins. She steps toward the vehicle. Ahnah puts her hand on Bunkei's shoulder, stopping the girl.
Mom.
Walking is good for the mind, Bunkei. Thank you for the offer, Sheriff.
If there's anything I can do.
We'll be fine, Joe.
Sheriff Joe nods. Bunkei watches the trees behind the SUV. Tree line point of view. Something appears to be watching them. Interior Sheriff's SUV continuous. Joe hands on a can of bear mace.
You girls keep this with you. I don't want you venturing into the woods without it.
We won't.
Sheriff Joe nods as he rolls up his window. Roscoe stares out the passenger's window. He growls.
Whoa, easy, bud.
Exterior rural road continuous. The SUV drives off. Ahnah and Bunkei resume their walk.
Can I carry the spray?
Would it make you feel better?
Bunkei nods. Ahnah hands her the spray. They continue toward their cabin. Exterior Times Square night. Bright billboards. The packed sidewalks move faster than the congested streets. A yellow school bus stands out in the sea of cars. Interior school bus night. 40 middle school students sit silently on the bus. A pink girl, 9, sleeps with her head against the window. Jubilee sits in the back playing a handheld 1980s Nintendo game and watch. Suddenly shrieks are heard outside. Thud, 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 thud. 4 heavy impacts shake the earth. The children glance at the fleeing people. Nervous chatter erupts. Jubilee stands up. She looks toward the front of the bus.
Raven.
Raven, in human form, gets out of her seat.
I'll check it out.
She approaches the bus driver, 50s.
Looks like we got company.
Raven sees something that makes her jaw drop. She clicks the X transponder on her jacket collar. It blinks. Exterior Times Square continuous. 4 metal attack bots move through downtown New York. The bots have giant round bodies with laser cannons on every side. Each machine is supported by 3 retractable legs, like a tripod. The legs are equipped with giant tires, allowing them to roll through the streets. Bystanders flee as the bots roll over their vehicles. The lead attack bot stops just shy of the school bus. 6 black-clothed soldiers rappel from the lead bot's hull. They carry assault rifles. Their helmets read FOH.
The Friends of Humanity ask that you exit the bus calmly with your hands up.
Interior school bus continuous. Jubilee stands next to Raven and the driver.
What are we going to do?
Stay with the students. I'll handle this.
Raven exits the bus. Jubilee looks even more concerned. Exterior Times Square continuous. Raven exits the bus with her hands in the air. A black-clothed soldier steps forward.
It's her.
The soldier fires at Raven. She dives behind a van for cover, followed by hundreds of bullets. Raven groans as one enters her thigh. Blood sprays onto the street. The lead attack bot aims its laser cannon at the van. Raven is helpless. Boom! The van explodes. Raven's body rolls across the pavement. We move in on her lifeless eyes. Jubilee attacks the lead bot with her firework powers. They do 0 damage. The lead attack bot aims at the school bus. Bang! A red energy blast drills the lead attack bot. Its tires roll backwards. Scott Summers races toward it in his X-Men garb. The machine's utter hull is scorched from his first attack. Storm, Jean Grey, and Beast race behind their leader.
Fan out.
The X-Men separate as Scott presses his visor. The red pulse of energy cuts the bot in half. A nearby attack bot turns its cannon on Scott. It fires. Jean sees the fast-moving laser blast. She grunts with all her strength, sending her powers toward it. Jean's powers push the laser to the right, causing it to miss Scott entirely. The laser destroys an empty bench. Crack! Lightning strikes the hull of the closest attack bot. Storm's eyes shine white as the lightning travels through the machine, severing its mechanical limbs. The attack bot activates its hidden jet engines. Its round hull rises into the sky. Suddenly, fierce with winds slam the bot into nearby building. It catches fire and explodes. Jean catches the falling debris with her powers. The pedestrians flee for shelter. Beast rips the back door off the school bus.
Everybody out.
The young mutants climb down as Jubilee races toward them.
Hank, they're coming.
A laser blast eviscerates Jubilee and the cars surrounding her. Beast sees the attack bot. He roars in anger. Beast sprints towards the bot as soldiers repel from it. Jean uses her powers to rip the ropes loose. The soldiers fall 50 feet to the ground. They don't move. Boom! Boom! The attack bot shoots lasers at Beast. The blue X-Man dodges the lasers by leaping through the air. He kicks off a light pole and lands on the bot's front leg. Boom! Rubber ropes wrap around Beast's blue body. He falls toward the street. The ropes restrain Beast's entire body. He squirms as 3 buff soldiers race toward him. They carry rope shotguns with tasers on their barrels. The soldiers jab Beast with their tasers. He roars, struggling to break free. Boom! A red energy blast knocks one soldier to the ground. The others dive for cover as Beast bites through the rope. Beast tackles the closest buff soldier. He hurls him into his friend, then leaps on top of the men. His animal side takes over as he delivers thunderous blows. The sky! A yellow energy blast hits Storm in the back. She falls 30 feet and lands on a closed dumpster. Her dazed body rolls off the lid and onto the sidewalk. Storm is barely conscious as 5 FOH soldiers sprint toward her. Scott spots the soldiers. He raises his hand to his visor. An enemy shoulder grapples with Scott. He can't use his eyes. Scott glances back at Storm and then at Jean. She's in the sky fighting the remaining attack bots. There's no way she can help. Scott turns to Beast. He's the closest to Storm.
Hank, help Storm.
Beast continues to claw the soldiers. He ignores Scott.
Ha!
The soldier knees Scott's stomach as the 5 FOH soldiers surround Storm. She looks up as the soldiers aim their guns at her. Everything freezes.
Simulation terminated.
The city disappears as the session ends, revealing the expensive blue danger room. Raven approaches the X-Men. Storm is slow to get to her feet.
Are you alright?
Yeah, give me a minute. Scott, Jean, and Beast join the group. Raven gets in Beast's face.
What the hell got into you?
What?
Storm needed you. Scott was screaming.
I didn't hear him.
That's right, because you got pissed and lost control. It's not the first time it's happened.
She's got a point.
Stay out of it, Scott.
Scott turns to Jean. She gives him a mean look.
When beasts take over, you're reckless.
Maybe you should run the simulation since you're such a team player.
If you got something to say, come out and say it.
Say what? That you're a reformed traitor who thinks she's better than everyone?
Raven throws a punch at Beast. The X-Men gasp as everything freezes. Beast stares at Raven's fist. It's inches from his face.
You eavesdropping, Charles?
Actually, that was Jean.
Beast's eyes move to the redhead. They make eye contact.
Why don't you come upstairs so they can finish?
Thanks.
Jean nods as Beast exits the danger room. After several seconds, the X-Men unfreeze. Raven's wild punch hits nothing. At first she's confused, then she's pissed.
Charles!
Interior basement elevator, Blue Hall's day. Beast injects the anti-mutation serum into his arm. He transforms into Hank McCoy. Hank has short stubble growing on his face. He looks more unkempt than usual. Hank slides on his glasses as the door opens. Interior Xavier's mansion, ground floor, continuous. Hank turns the corner and almost walks into Xavier's wheelchair.
Excuse me, Hank.
The professor continues down the hall looking serious. Hank follows.
There's a tsunami headed for the west coast of Africa. I'm sending the team to help evacuate.
Do you need me to?
No, that'll be fine.
Hank stops walking. Xavier rolls away from him. The increasing distance, a metaphor for their relationship. Exterior Xavier's mansion day. Hank collects the mail from the school's giant mailbox. The sign in the gate reads, Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters. A loud rumble catches Hank's attention. The Blackbird rises into the air and zooms off at supersonic speed. Hank glares at the fleeting jet. He snorts. Interior Xavier's mansion command room day. Xavier wears the Cerebro headgear.
Coordinates are locked in. We'll be there in 6 hours.
Xavier presses a button on the command console.
Best of luck, Scott. I'll monitor your progress for Cerebro.
Thanks. We'll probably need a translator.
Indeed.
Interior Xavier's study day. Hank sorts through the mail, placing the majority on Xavier's desk. A thick tan envelope catches Hank's eye. Insert Dr. Paul Cartier's envelope. The penmanship is poor, written by a trembling hand. Blood is visible on the envelope. The study. Hank raises the envelope into his eyes.
Student loans again?
Hank jumps. Professor X is right behind him.
I liked it better when you had the squeaky chair.
I had it better when I could walk. Sorry for pulling you out like that, Hank, but Raven's right. You have a tendency to...
Hank opens the letter and reads it. Hank looks troubled.
Something wrong, Hank.
This isn't right.
Hank storms out of the room. Interior Xavier's mansion, Hank's room continues. Hank enters his science-themed bedroom. Insert Trek Wars memorabilia. He searches through a tall filing cabinet as Xavier rolls into the room. Hank procures 10 letters and a VHS tape.
You think someone else could have written this letter?
Hank hands Xavier the newest letter and an older one from the same person. The older letter features magnificent penmanship. The recent letter is sloppy, written by a shaky hand.
Certainly looks different. Who is Dr. Paul Cartier?
Hank slides the VHS into his TV.
He's like me.
TV screen. Dr. Paul Cartier, 50s, an older man with buzzed hair, sits in front of a small laboratory. Picture, James Spader in a white lab coat.
Dr. McCoy, thank you for giving me a moment of your time. My name is Dr. Paul Cartier. I apologize for not delivering this speech in person, but I find seclusion to be the best alternative to my condition.
Dr. Cartier takes a drink of water. He seems quite calm.
I was first made aware of my mutation when my wife and I were running late for a benefit. She took a sharp corner and our tires lost traction. The vehicle careened off the embankment.
Dr. Cartier pauses. The memory is difficult to revisit.
We both survived the impact, but the physical trauma triggered my mutation. My mind blurred as I became this voracious creature. I wasn't completely present, only fragments of details remain, but I remember my wife's screams. She screamed as the white beast ate her.
Dr. Cartier looks away from the camera. He bites his lip.
When I came to, I was covered in blood. No clothes, no trace of Nora. Not even her bones, Dr. McCoy. I couldn't even bury my wife. I had to file a missing persons report. The depravity of my actions haunts me every second that I'm awake. I fear that I might transform again. I've seen you on the news in your blue form. I can only assume that we suffer from a similar condition.
Paul picks up a box full of ice. A smaller box rests inside.
I've mailed a blood sample for you to study. I don't have a telephone, but my return address is included with the letter. I hope that you can help me, Dr. McCoy, because hope is all that I have left.
The screen turns black.
Why didn't you tell me about this?
I didn't think I needed permission to help someone. My mutation suppression serum is compatible with his condition.
How often are you shipping it?
I only sent one dose. Paul's got his own lab. He synthesizes it there.
This letter is very strange. I think it's time we checked on Dr. Cartier.
Interior Xavier's mansion, Cerebro day. Cerebro's doors open. Xavier rolls down the classic walkway. Hank follows him.
You said Swan Hills?
In Alberta.
Xavier slides on the headgear. Cerebro comes to life. Xavier scans northern Canada. We see flashes of wilderness and cabins in Swan Hills. Hank watches in awe.
I can't find him. I'm widening my search.
To what?
The world.
Boom! The projections expands as Xavier searches all the mutants in existence. We see rapid images, 30 per second. After some time, Charles removes the helmet. He turns to Hank looking sad.
I'm sorry, Hank. He's gone.
What do you mean he's gone?
His mind is no longer active.
What if he's changed again?
I suppose his animal mind could be beyond my ability to recognize. However, it's more likely he's either dead or unconscious.
I'm going up there.
Hank heads for the exit. Xavier wheels after him. Interior Xavier's mansion, blue hallways continues.
But do you think it's really wise to rush off without the other X-Men?
If someone attacked Paul, he needs help.
What if you're right about the transformation?
I'll plan accordingly.
Interior Xavier's mansion, blue lab day. Hank fills a large titanium container with numerous devices. He loads 4 blood bags into the refrigerated portion and stacks it onto a bulky device shaped like a 90s boombox.
So you finished the hypersonic transmitter?
Yeah, at 30,000 hertz, it's above the human hearing range, but within that of most animals.
What happens when you get his attention?
Hank loads a small vial of green liquid into a silver rifle.
Mutation suppression desarts. Released upon impact.
Already the spare jet.
Interior Xavier's mansion, jet hangar day. Hank climbs into a small X-jet and starts its engine. Xavier watches from the tarmac.
Be sure to speak with a woman who lives in the cabin outside of town, on the edge of town. Out of everyone in Swan Hills, she's the only one whose mind I couldn't enter. She may know something about Dr. Cartier.
Hank nods at Xavier through the cockpit window. The jet rises as the roof opens. Exterior Xavier's mansion day. Hank's jet shoots into the clear blue sky. Interior log cabin night. Ahnah sews on the couch. Bunkei stares out the frosted window. She looks worried.
Why can't we move?
We have no money to move, Bunkei. Besides, our place is here, like our ancestors before us.
Bunkei doesn't respond. She stares out the window.
I know things have been hard without your brother, but we'll manage.
Ahnah looks up. She sees the fear on Bunkei's face.
Bunkei, are you listening?
I'm afraid of the Wendigo. It only eats human flesh.
That's nonsense. Our ancestors made up hundreds of stories and legends. They were for passing the time, not frightening little children. Now, come sit with me.
Bunkei moves away from the window. She sits down beside her mother. Ahnah hands her a needle and thread.
It's time you learn how to sew.
What if I don't like it?
No one likes it, but it's a skill you'll need one day. Watch me.
Ahnah demonstrates the proper way to thread a needle. Exterior woods night. A massive grizzly bear wanders through the dense trees. Its warm breath is visible in the bright moonlight. Ahead, a thick clump of snow falls from a tall tree. The bear looks up. It growls, exposing its teeth. The tree shakes violently. More and more snow falls to the ground. A loud roar comes from the tree. Something leaps out of it. The creature battles the bear. We can't make out its features. The bear is no match for its enemy. Another bear roars, rushing to the aid of its mate. The bears attack the creature from both sides. The massive creature howls as it slaughters the animals. Interior log cabin night. Ahnah and Bunkei look up from sewing. The howl echoes.
Mom!
It's nothing, Bunkei. Go to bed.
Bunkei heads to bed as Ahnah moves to the window. She stares into the darkness, looking unsettled. Exterior woods morning. Ethan moves silently through the snow. He carries a high-powered rifle. The hunter spots large paw prints in the snow.
There you are.
Ethan continues up the snowy hill. When he reaches the top, he freezes in his tracks.
Mother of God.
Gallons of blood cover the frozen ground. 2 seemingly dead bears lie on their stomachs nose to nose. Pieces of bone stick out of their fur. Ethan's jaw hangs open. His eyes can't look away from the gory mess. A branch snaps in the distance. Ethan raises his rifle. He breathes fast, searching for a target. After a few seconds, Ethan lowers the weapon. He jogs away from the bears. Exterior clearing and forest day. Hank unpacks his supplies from the X-Jet. He wears heavy winter clothing and his facial stubble is slightly thicker. Hank puts the metal X container on a sled. He drags it toward town. Exterior secluded town day. Hank drags his equipment past Mr. Jones' supply store. The front doors are locked with chains. A large sign reads temporarily closed. Interior motel office day. Ethan and Darrell, 52. A slim-looking smoker trades stories beside the coffee maker.
You hear about that cage fighter up in Laughlin City?
Nope.
Guy won 10 matches in a row.
Horseshit.
That's what they're saying.
Well, it ain't as good as my story.
Hank enters. He approaches Kayla 20s, the motel receptionist.
I'd like to buy a room for the night.
It's 30 a night or 80 for the week.
I'll take the week. Is cash all right?
Sure.
Hank glances at the two locals.
There's no way that happened.
I'm telling you, it happened. 2 dead bears, practically no snows.
You were drunk.
It's tipsy at best. I know what I saw.
What did you see?
Ethan and Darrell look at Hank. They size him up.
Whatever you're selling, we don't need it.
I'm no salesman, but I'm very much interested in what you have to say.
See, he believes me.
Could you take me to the Bears?
$30.
Hank frowns. He looks inside his wallet.
I got 20.
That'll work.
You're in 111.
Kayla slides the key to Hank. Her eyes land on his odd X-Men X-Watch.
Thanks. I'll be out in a minute.
Sure thing, Slick.
Interior Hank's motel room day. Hank opens the door to the bare bones room. Its tiny window has numerous cracks.
I think I got overcharged.
Hank stows his equipment in the far corner. He retrieves his sample kit and exits the room. Exterior deep woods day. Ethan hikes with a high-powered rifle. Hank follows close behind. He carries his sample collection kit, which looks like a sophisticated lunchbox.
He brought all that junk and no rifle.
I guess I'm old-fashioned.
Ethan taps his hand against his rifle.
This is old-fashioned.
Ethan leads Hank to a clearing. They reach the top of the hill. The bears are gone.
What the hell?
Ethan's eyes land on 2 thick trails of blood.
It looks like something moved them.
What the hell kind of animal can move 2 bears?
One that's bigger.
Hank kneels down in the snow. The blood trails are to his left and right.
Use the corpses to cover its tracks.
Hank opens his sample collection kit. He slides a rectangular device into the bloody snow. The device beeps as its clear plastic tip turns red. Hank ejects the plastic tip into his collection kit. He dips the device into the other long streak of blood. The device beeps and he stores the sample in the kit. Hank leans forward. His eyes notice tiny red specks in the center of the snow. The specks are bright red compared to the other long streaks. Hank carefully collects the sample.
We should follow the trail.
Hank closes his collection kit and looks back. Ethan is long gone. Hank snorts. He follows the blood trail. Rushing stream. Hank arrives at a fast-moving stream. The blood trails end at the water's edge. Point of view behind trees. Something watches Hank. It snorts. Rushing stream. Hank looks around. He can sense something nearby. Hank jogs away from the stream. Close up on the stream's water. We see the reflection of the sky in the water. A bulky white form appears in the reflection. The fast-moving water blurs the image. A giant white paw splashes the water. Red specks of blood are visible on the paw. Exterior, Dr. Paul Cartier's home day. A metal fence surrounds the 2-story house. The fence is covered in lightning bolt symbols. Hank approaches from the dirt road. He notices a no trespassing sign with claw marks on it. The large black mailbox reads, Dr. Paul Cartier. Hank opens the lid. It's filled with mail. Backyard. A giant hunk of fence is missing. It appears that an 8-foot-tall monster ran through it.
That's disconcerting.
Hank walks through the opening. The back door looks brand new, unlike the rest of the house. Hank knocks on the door.
Paul, it's Hank McCoy. Are you there?
Hank twists the doorknob. It's locked. Front yard. Hank walks up to the older door. This one matches the house. He tries the doorknob. Buzz. The doorknob shocks him. Hank groans as he lets go.
Must not be my day.
Hank looks towards the east. He sees smoke rising. Exterior edge of the forest day. Smoke billows from Ahnah's tall chimney. Hank approaches from the tree line. He spots a tree with missing bark. 4 horizontal cuts are visible, potentially claw marks. Hank looks down at the snow. It appears to have been disturbed. It's as if someone used a broom to sweep away paw print. Exterior log cabin day. Hank approaches Ahnah's porch. He notices a wet broom by the door. Hank bends down and touches the thick bristles. He plucks a long white hair from the broom. Hank adds it to his collection kit. He knocks on the door.
Hello?
Hank glances to the left. He sees Bunkei peeping through the window shades. Someone pulls Bunkei away from the window.
I just want to ask you a few questions, and then I'll be on my way.
Ahnah barely opens the door. She looks through the crack.
Who are you?
I'm Dr. Hank McCoy. What's your name?
I'm Ahnah. This is private property. What do you want?
I'm trying to locate a colleague of mine, Dr. Paul Cartier.
Ahnah's face reacts negatively to the name.
What do you want with him?
Do you know him?
Ahnah doesn't respond. She glares at Hank.
I'm afraid he's in trouble, Ahnah. Do you think you know where I could find him?
At his house.
No one's home. Paul mentioned that he'd been seeing weird paw prints in the snow. Have you noticed anything strange like that?
Ahnah hesitates. She's on the verge of opening up.
Mom, tell him.
Quiet, Bunkei. I haven't seen anything.
No, I saw claw marks on that tree.
Hank points to the tree. Ahnah refuses to look.
You didn't see them there when you were sweeping the snow?
I can't help you. It's best you go back to New York.
New York?
Ahnah realizes that she said too much, revealing her abilities.
Good luck with your search, Dr. McCoy.
Ahnah shuts the door in Hank's face. Hank exhales in frustration. He walks off. Ahnah watches Hank through the window. Exterior Main Street, gloomy day. Bystanders watch Hank as he crosses the road. He stands out in his expensive winter clothing. Boom! A gunshot echoes from the forest. Hank spins towards the noise on high alert. Birds fly out of the trees. Hank waits. Nothing emerges from the woods.
You'll get used to that.
Hank turns to his left. A scarred man, 40, sits on the back of a pickup truck, whittling wood. The man has terrible posture, hunched over with shaky hands. He wears a cheap hat that covers his forehead and eyes. A wooden cane rests beside his left leg.
Excuse me?
You ain't from around here, are you?
No. Just passing through.
Hank heads for the motel. The scarred man watches him closely.
You're looking for what killed that boy?
He turns back to face him.
Someone died?
Presumed dead. No one could find the body. Like those bears you're after.
Who told you about that?
No one told me anything. I used my ears.
The scarred man lifts his cap, revealing that he's nearly blind. His eyes and forehead have deep scars.
They're all I got left.
The scarred man returns the hat to his head. Hank moves closer to the mysterious man.
What else have you heard?
I know its name.
The scarred man puts tobacco in his mouth.
The Inuits call it Wendigo, the cannibal spirit of the forest. They say it travels through whispers in the night air, hunting for fresh meat.
Do you believe that?
The scarred man tilts his hat back, exposing the scars. They resemble a giant animal's claw.
Seeing is believing.
You've seen it?
I'll never forget that noise.
The scarred man breathes in and out, making loud, blowing noises. It's a scary performance.
That's how it sounds. Got blowholes like a whale. Good thing I wasn't worth eating.
The scarred man emits a sinister laugh. Hank looks unsettled. He backs away from him.
Thanks for your help.
Hank heads for the motel.
It's got your scent, boy.
The scarred man makes the blowhole noise. Hank ignores him. Interior Hank's motel room day. Hank inserts the blood samples into the portable genetic sequencer. Performs a chemical analysis on the samples. Insert, machine small screen. Analyzing, sample 1 sequencing complete. Genetic match, grizzly bear. Sample 2 sequencing complete. Genetic match, grizzly bear. Sample 3 sequencing complete. Genetic match, unknown. Motel room. Hank frowns. He uses tweezers to lift the long white hair out of his bag. He clips off a small strand and falls into a small tube. Hank squirts a dissolving solution into the tube. He loads it into the genetic sequencer. Insert machine small screen. Analyzing sample 4. Sample 4 sequencing complete. Genetic match? Unknown. The machine beeps twice. Sample 4 and sample 3 are identical. Motel room. Hank turns his wrist over, revealing the bottom of his X watch. Hank clicks the X symbol and it blinks. Interior Xavier's mansion. Cerebro, same. Professor X wheels down the blue runway and slides on his helmet.
You rang, Hank?
Intercut the conversation.
Looks like I was right.
Have you seen the creature?
No. Just a hair and some blood near the slaughtered grizzly bears.
Can you kill a grizzly bear, Hank?
Are you trying to be funny?
I'm trying to gauge your ability to defend yourself, should your plan go awry.
It won't come to that.
I wish I shared your certainty. Any luck with the townspeople?
I met with Ahnah, but she was less than receptive. I think she has similar abilities to yours.
That would explain her mental block. What about Dr. Cartier's house?
The place was locked up tight. I'll try and gain access tomorrow.
I don't like this, Hank. I wish the team were there with you.
I'll be fine, Professor.
Xavier turns his head. He looks serious.
I'll check in later.
Hank glances at the titanium refrigerator labeled X. He rubs his hand over it.
Hopefully I won't need you.
Exterior edge of the woods day. Montage. Hank sets up motion sensors. Hank nails the sensors to tree trunks and light poles. He places some on the isolated houses. Exterior parking lot edge of town sundown. A flickering street light. Wide shot. Hank is the lone figure under the whimpering light. He sets up the hypersonic equipment in the safety of the open space. The closest establishment is the Gruff Bar on the corner. Ethan and Dave walk past Hank as they head for the bar. Ethan reacts warmly to the young man. Dave maintains his cold stare.
Ah, there's the bear hunter.
You don't look like a bear hunter.
Ethan hits Hank on the back. It's more forceful than friendly. Hank gives him a look.
How'd you fare out there, Slick?
The trail went cold.
Probably for the best.
Ethan heads for the bar. Dave's feet remain firmly planted in the ground. He glares at Hank. Hank maintains eye contact with Dave, not blinking.
Come on, Dave. Charlie's waiting.
Dave snorts, then heads for the bar. Hank watches him enter the establishment, then returns to his equipment. There's a circular radar. Imagine a submarine sonar and a dial that reads signal strength. The signal strength dial is turned all the way to the left. It reads 0%.
Let's see if I can get your attention without pissing every dog and cat in town.
Hank turns the knob to 10%. Hank rubs his cold hands together, carefully watching the radar. Nothing. Hank opens a long canister to his left. It houses his serum rifle. Hank rises to his shoulder. He opens the chamber, revealing a massive dart filled with green liquid. Hank puts the rifle back in the canister. His eyes return to the radar. Time lapse, sunset to night. Hank stands outside. His body shivers in the frigid weather. He stares at the radar. Still nothing. The signal strength is set at 25%. Light and laughter come from the nearby bar. The place is packed. No one remains on the street. Hank's eyes move to the warm bar. He turns the signal strength down to 0% and jogs inside. Interior Gruff Bar night. Hank enters the booming party. He sees Dave standing near a collection jar.
$5 cover.
I just need to use the restroom.
$5.
Hank pays him and heads for the back. Dave's muscular hand grabs Hank's shoulder, halting him.
What's your problem?
ID.
Hank digs through his wallet and shows him his New York driver's license. Dave lets go and Hank weaves through the crowd. Bathroom door. Hank waits outside the single-stall restroom. The emergency exit is to his right. Hank knocks on the door.
Hold your horses.
Should have pissed outside.
Exterior Gruff Bar continuous. A cloaked person sneaks up to Hank's equipment. The person's hand touches the signal strength dial. It goes from 0 to 100%. Dogs bark in the background. The barks grow louder every second, building the tension. The person cleans off the frosted radar screen. Still nothing. Beep. Something appears on the edge of the radar. Exterior dark forest night. A dark image races across the snow. It's the monster. We can't see it clearly. It's moving too fast. The dogs bark louder than before. One of Hank's motion sensors blinks on the nearby tree. Exterior Gruff Bar continuous. The person stands over the radar, watching the dot move closer. Beep. Beep, 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 beep. The person runs away. Seconds later, a giant claw smashes through Hank's hypersonic machinery. The beeping stops, but the trouble is just beginning. Interior gruff bar night. Hank returns to the bar's main area. The blaring country music attacks his ears. Someone spills beer on Hank's jacket.
Jeez.
Hank heads for the front door. Ethan and Dave block his path.
What's your hurry, stranger?
I need to piss.
Happens that way.
It's occupied.
Dave invades Hank's personal space.
Your license says you're a Yankee. What are you doing this far north?
Personal matter?
Most folks don't find the snow to their liking.
I'm not most people.
Music stop and the lights go out.
Damn it, Charlie. Kick the breaker. Did not.
Dogs bark outside. Hank looks concerned. Boom! The sound of thunder comes from the back of the building. Hank runs towards the back door, fighting through the crowd.
Move!
Boom! The door shakes.
I said it's occupied.
Hank arrives at the back door as the monster kicks it down. The door drills Hank, knocking him through the closed bathroom door. We only get a glimpse of the creature as it moves past. The townspeople scream as Wendigo wreaks havoc. He throws tables into people, people into tables, people into people. Everyone races for the front door. The mass hysteria causes a bottleneck. The bartender 50s aims his shotgun at Wendigo. Wendigo grabs the shotgun barrel and flings it across the room. The bartender sails through the air, still hanging on. Bathroom. The pile of loose debris rises into the air. A roar. Beast emerges from the loose boards. He races into the main area. Two drunks are thrown across the room. Beast dodges their flailing bodies. He races towards his off-screen nemesis. A four-legged table zooms toward Beast. Beast soars through the air. His powerful blue form flies through the table with ease. The two half pieces shoot in opposite directions. Beast roars as he slams into what we can see of the giant white monster. Wendigo is significantly larger than Beast. That's all we can make out from the darkness. Beast grabs the monster's arm. His sharp teeth bite into Wendigo's flesh. Wendigo howls. Its free hand slugs Beast in the face. Beast flies across the room. The confused townspeople attack him too.
Get the freak!
Beer bottles and chairs fly at Beast. Wendigo escapes through the rear exit. Beast jumps to his feet. He throws the nearest attacker across the room. Dave races at Beast with a knife. Beast kicks Dave in the chest. He slams into Ethan as Beast jumps through the closest window. Exterior gruff bar night. People flee from Beast as he checks on his destroyed equipment. He picks up the long canister. The serum rifle is gone.
No! No!
A blood-curdling howl comes from the edge of the woods. Beast sees Wendigo. He races after him on all fours. Exterior forest night. Beast races through the woods, moving at full speed on all fours. His eyes are locked on the ground, following the white creature's paw prints. The paw prints suddenly stop. Beast jumps up. His eyes scan the woods. Beast sees a huge hunk of bark missing on a tree to his right. It's 20 feet off the ground. Beast looks to the left. Another tree is missing bark. Beast backs up. He wants a running start. Beast's point of view. Beast roars as he runs forward. Beast leaps into the air. He soars toward the tree with the missing bark. Beast kicks off the tree. He zooms toward the next tree. Beast kicks off it, following Wendigo's path. Beast lands on the bank of a fast-moving stream. Fast-moving stream. Beast stares at the ground. 4 large paw prints move toward the water. Wendigo's trail is cold. Beast's eyes search the surrounding forest. The rushing water makes it hard to hear. A tree branch snaps behind him. Beast spins around, no visible movement. Beast lets out a low growl, exposing his teeth. His back is to the rushing water. Wendigo silently emerges from the water. We see its massive full frame for the first time. In one quick move, it grabs Beast by the ankles. Wendigo jerks Beast before he can react. Beast's stomach slams into the soft ground. He digs his claws into the ground. He won't budge. Wendigo growls. The creature tugs even harder. Beast's claws fly out of the ground, holding clumps of dirt. Wendigo slings Beast into a tree. Beast hits the tree, face first. His body slides down the trunk. He doesn't move. Wendigo cautiously approaches Beast. We see its massive white body. It's hell of a sight. Wendigo's abdomen has 6 air holes, 3 on each side. The expelled breath is visible in cold night air. Wendigo picks Beast up by his ankles. He's limp. Wendigo claws Beast's chest. No reaction. Bang, bang. Rifles, rounds drill the tree behind Wendigo. Wendigo growls. It hurls Beast downstream and jumps at the shooters. Bang, bang. The men scream. Beast's point of view. We see the starry sky getting closer and closer. Then it slowly starts to move farther and farther away. Splash. We land in the water. It's loud. The water moves incredibly fast. Incredibly faster. The camera shakes, signifying that Beast is awake. His left paw reaches out and grabs a thick rock. Beast's watch is still attached to the thick blue wrist. Beast's head slips underwater. He sees red blood exiting his wounds. Shore. Beast crawls to the shore. The hint of sunlight is visible over the tall hills. A long trail of blood follows Beast's body. Beast hits the bottom of the X watch and rolls onto his back. We move in on the blinking X symbol. Fade to black. Silence.
Hank? Can you hear me?
Audio montage. The loud boom of Wendigo's knock on the bar door. Wendigo howls, then splash of water. The noises repeat, building to a crescendo. Then silence. Fade in. Interior log cabin day. Hank lies on his back. He's battered, bruised, and in human form. The IV of A+ Logan's blood hangs from a coat stand. It delivers liquid healing to Hank's right forearm. Hank appears naked. Only a sheet covers his lower body. Hank opens his eyes and looks to his right. Bunkei sits in a stool beside the couch. She appears fascinated with Hank.
He's awake.
Ahnah exits the kitchen with a cup of green tea. She seems more compassionate this time.
Here, drink this.
Ahnah helps Hank lift his head. He sips the beverage.
Thank you.
How do you feel?
Pretty rough.
Hank realizes that Bunkei hasn't stopped staring at him. He makes eye contact.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Bunkei.
It's nice to meet you, Bunkei. I'm Hank.
Are you gonna turn blue again?
If I do, it'll only be from bruising.
Hank glances at the TV.
How many infusions have I had?
I just started an hour ago.
How did you know this would help me?
Your friends told us.
My friend?
Bunkei's eyes move to her left. She stares at empty space.
It's okay. You can talk to him now.
Xavier appears in front of Hank.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Hank. The young girl is rather taken with me.
Bunkei leans forward. She whispers to Hank.
What's he saying?
Xavier chuckles and Hank grins.
Says you're sweet.
Bunkei turns red. She can't help but smile.
I'll spare you the Q&A, seeing as I've already viewed your memories.
It wasn't pretty.
So that's putting it mildly. Get some rest, Hank. I'll be in touch.
Xavier disappears. Bunkei's eyes light up as she looks at an invisible person across the room.
Bye.
Ahnah sits down beside Hank.
I'm making you lunch if you're hungry.
Starving.
Good.
Thank you for helping me, Ahnah. I'm not used to such kindness from strangers.
Perhaps you've been around the wrong people.
Hank glances at his science gear in the corner.
How did you get my equipment?
I used your room key. You're lucky it stayed in your pocket.
I don't feel lucky.
Let me finish cooking. Bunkei will keep you company.
The young girl stares at Hank.
Blue's my favorite color.
You got good taste.
Bunkei giggles and Hank smirks. Interior log cabin kitchen day. Ahnah places steaming fish on the table. Bunkei is already seated. She bites into a hot fish. Hank enters the kitchen wearing tight pants and a tight shirt. He drags the coat stand IV with him. Logan's blood continues to supply Hank's body with healing. He looks less bruised than before. Hank's facial hair is becoming a short beard. Ahnah pulls out Hank's chair for him.
Thanks.
The X-Man eases into the chair.
I hope the clothes aren't too uncomfortable. They belong to my son.
They're perfect. You'll have to thank him for me.
A silence falls over the table. Bunkei stops eating. She looks upset.
Seelah died last month.
So sorry. I had no idea.
Bunkei gets up and runs to her bedroom.
Bunkei!
The bedroom door slams shut. Ahnah shakes her head.
She blames herself for what happened to Seelah.
Why?
He was looking for her toy when he attacked him. She's too young for such guilt.
You say it. You mean
The white monster. You were right about me.
You can read minds.
The females in our family, we have what is known as the mind's eye. When we're around others, we get certain feelings and insight. Bunkei does not have it yet, but she will.
How do you know Dr. Cartier?
Paul helped rebuild our roof after the fire.
Ahnah takes a photo off the wall and hands it to Hank. Insert the photo. It shows several cabins, turf huts, and families living near Ahnah's property. It was a vibrant Inuit community. The kitchen?
The house was the only one that survived.
I don't understand. How could the fire have spread through the snow?
The fire was spread by man. I knew as much from my abilities, but that's not proof.
Ahnah shakes her head as she places the photo on the wall.
We have nothing to them. They want us gone. We are different.
I know the feeling. So you met Paul after the fire?
Ahnah nods. She sits down beside Hank.
He was a kind man, and I was grateful for his help.
Ahnah notices that Hank hasn't taken a bite.
Please, eat.
I don't want to be rude.
You are not rude. Please.
Hank eats his fish.
We went many months without seeing each other. When spring arrived, I went to check on him.
Insert glimpses of the memory. Paul answers the door, looking disheveled.
When Paul came to the door, I knew something was wrong. He looked lost, like his soul had been eaten away.
Kitchen. Ahnah fights back tears.
I saw into Paul's mind, Hank. I saw the darkness, and it scared me. That was the last time I saw him. Weeks later, he killed my son.
Hank puts his hand on top of Ahnah's. She takes his hand and holds it. They make eye contact.
He must be stopped, Hank. For good.
Nah. Paul needs help.
He doesn't deserve help. He's a monster.
Hank lets go of Ahnah's hand. He's saddened by her words.
Am I a monster?
Don't try that, Hank. You're not like him. You are in control.
It's not always so easy.
Hank takes off his glasses and rubs his eyes.
Nah. Professor Xavier is the most powerful telepath I know. He tried to read Paul's mind, but it's gone. He has no control over his creature.
Then why did he transform?
I don't know.
Ahnah and Hank sit in silence. Neither make eye contact.
What are you going to do?
I'll go back to Paul's house, see what I can find out.
We will come with you.
It's not safe.
Until the creature lies breathless, no place is safe.
Hank locks eyes with Ahnah. He nods. Interior grungy bar, Laughlin City Day. A large crowd surrounds the metal cage at the center of the room. Thick cigar smoke hangs in the air. People cheer and boo as a young brute, 29, steps into the cage. The manager, 50s, locks the cage door behind him. Sorry, I lost my place. Hold on. Oh. The manager 50s locks the cage door behind him. There's no escape. The young brute bounces on his feet, full of energy. He has more tattoos than sense.
Come on, let's go.
A shirtless man stands in the opposite corner with his back to the fighter. His fit body is covered in sweat. The young brute throws several jabs to stay loose. He moves toward the center of the ring.
What you waiting for?
His opponent takes a long drag of his cigar. He turns to face the young brute. It's Wolverine. Easy, kid. You'll get your shot. Wolverine drops the cigar and steps on it. He cracks his neck as he walks towards his opponent.
Logan?
Wolverine freezes in his tracks. His calm demeanor is gone.
You don't know me, but I need your help.
Wolverine's eyes search the crowd for the voice. All of the noises blur together. Thud, thud, thud. Wolverine's ears pick up. 3 quick steps. He ducks, dodging a haymaker from the young brute. The wild punch's momentum carries the young brute past Wolverine. Wolverine kicks him in the ass, which sends the young brute face first in the cage wall. The crowd laughs at the young brute, making him even more pissed. Wolverine's eyes search the crowd, still looking for the voice.
I'm not there. I'm in New York.
How? How? Interior Xavier's mansion, Cerebra, same. Xavier sits inside Cerebra wearing the headgear.
I'm a mutant like you, Logan. And I need your help.
Interior grungy bar, the cage, same. Wolverine blocks 2 punches and kicks his opponent in the stomach. He slides across the cage floor on his ass. I'm kind of in the middle of something. More laughs from the crowd. Beer bottles clang against the cage.
I'm afraid this takes precedence.
The young brute leaps to his feet.
Is that all you know how to do? Kick like a girl?
Wolverine locks eyes with his opponent. That was the wrong thing to say. Wolverine roars as he spears the young brute into the floor. Wolverine is on top of him before he can react. The ripped mutant delivers a series of jaw-shattering punches to the young brute. Lies helpless on the cage floor. The bell rings, ending the fight. A few cheers are heard. The rest are loud boos. Wolverine grabs his shirt and jacket. The claws on his right hand shoot out as he slices the lock of the cage door. Wolverine kicks the cage open and retracts his claws. Patrons shout obscenities as he walks past him. Several beer bottles fly toward Wolverine. He ducks. Then a cacophony of thuds is heard as the spectators drop to the ground. Wolverine glances around, clearly impressed.
Is that better?
Not bad. Wolverine heads for the exit as a door opens. A janitor 60s enters with a broom. He looks at the knocked out crowd, then at Wolverine. Sorry about the mess. Wolverine exits. The janitor looks perplexed. Interior Wolverine's truck continuous. Wolverine opens the door and throws his things into the truck's floorboards. He climbs into the driver's seat.
Drive south.
Listen, bub, I'm not doing shit until you tell me what's going on.
A mutual friend of ours is in danger.
I don't have friends.
You did, before you lost your memory.
Insert flashes of images. The adamantium procedure. Stryker smiling. Wolverine howls in pain. Rah! Wolverine's truck. Wolverine comes back to the present.
I'll explain on the way.
Wolverine thinks over his options. He nods as he inserts the car keys and turns them. The truck doesn't start. Wolverine tries the key again. No luck. You any good with cars?
Not in the slightest.
Figures. Wolverine pumps the gas pedal as he turns the key. The engine tries to start. It succeeds. Wolverine puts the truck in drive and speeds down the road.
Let's start with January 1973.
Exterior woods day. Darrell leads a group of 5 heavily armed hunters. They walk shoulder to shoulder through the forest. The lone female walks on the far right. She moves faster than the burly man. The hunters are armed with machine guns and rifles. The female hunter points to her right and the group stops. Massive claw marks on visible on the tree's bark. They continue up the tree. The hunters raise their rifles. Bang! Bang, bang, bang! They fire at the top of the tree. Thick branches fall as bullets decimate the tree limbs. Something massive leaps out of the tree. It zooms through the air. The hunters scramble after it, firing all the way. Wendigo point of view, the animal grunts as it kicks off the thick tree trunk. It flies through the air, heading for the next tree. Upon impact, Wendigo slides down about 4 feet. It takes a moment for its claws to catch. Forest floor. The hunters continue to fire. 1 stops to reload. A second hunter runs out of ammo. 2 more stop to reload. Only 1 hunter fires at the tree. Click! He's out. A roar! The woman and 3 of the men rush to reload their weapons. Darrell runs for his life. Wendigo point of view. The creature leaps down from the tree. Within seconds, it slaughters the woman and 3 hunters. Blood flies onto the screen. The white snow looks like a red Jackson Pollock painting. The camera bounces in rhythm as Wendigo races on all fours. The monster closes in on the fleeing hunter. Darrell looks back and screams. He stumbles and falls. He rolls onto his back and sits up. Wendigo dives on him. A shrill scream fills the air. Exterior dark Dr. Paul Cartier's home day. Hank walks through the gaping hole in the backyard fence. Ahnah and Bunkei follow him. Hank approaches the back door. He kicks it, thud, not even a dent. Hank looks pissed. He kicks again. Interior Dr. Paul Cartier's home. Continuous. A loud thud. The back door rattles. An animal's growl, followed by an even louder thud. The door vibrates. Another thud. The house vibrates. Boom! Beast kicks the door down. The blue animal is ready for battle. Beast leaps into the kitchen. His eyes scan the room. Dirty dishes and a few ants. That's it. Ahnah and Bunkei follow him inside.
Wait here.
Beast searches the rest of the house. He returns.
No one's home.
Beast injects his arm with his serum. He transforms back into Hank McCoy. Interior Dr. Paul Cartier's home. The lab continuous. Hank and Ahnah enter the cluttered laboratory. The walls and workstations are covered with 1980s computer equipment, glass spectrometers, test tubes, and jugs of chemicals. Hank stops short of the chemical station.
I don't know what these chemicals are. Might not be safe.
Ahnah turns to Bunkei.
Stay in the hall, Bunkei.
Bunkei stays back as they search the lab. Hank's eyes land on a small case and a VHS tape. A note reads, "For Hank." Hank picks up the video. He turns to Ahnah.
You need to step out.
I'm fine. Play it.
Hank puts the VHS tape in the nearby TV screen. Dr. Paul Cartier sits in the private lab. He stares into the video camera.
This will serve as entry 1 in my video log. I plan to chronicle my life in isolation and the effectiveness of Dr. McCoy's mutation suppression serum.
Dr. Cartier picks up his remote and clicks stop. Static fills the frame. Cut to next entry. Dr. Cartier is visible, this time with a slight beard.
Entry number 2. It's been 6 months since my first entry. I found that long-term use of Dr. McCoy's serum leads to bouts of depression and mood swings. Although without a control group, I can't be sure that it's not just me. I will, of course, continue treatment and hope for the best.
Dr. Cartier picks up his remote and clicks stop. Cut to next entry. Dr. Cartier sits in front of the screen wearing warm winter clothes. It appears that he's been outside. Paul seems more upbeat.
Entry number 3. I made a friend today. Her name is Ahnah. She lives on the edge of town, like me. She's got a daughter and a son. She's clearly territorial. I don't know why, but I wanted to run home and make this video. How about that?
Dr. Cartier picks up his remote and clicks stop. Cut to next entry. Dr. Cartier sits in front of the screen.
Entry number 4. I've enjoyed spending time with Ahnah. She's an incredibly strong woman, gifted in warmth and spirit. I could see her spirit in Bunkei. I'm thinking about making dinner for them. Might do the house some good to have company.
Dr. Cartier picks up his remote and clicks stop. Cut to next entry. Dr. Cartier appears on screen. He looks disheveled, unhinged.
Dinner was canceled. Ahnah said she was feeling under the weather, but I think it was the sun. He doesn't really like me. Shame. I was starting to feel human again. Is this entry 5 or 6? I can't remember.
Dr. Cartier's head slumps. He clicks stop. Cut to next entry. Dr. Cartier appears before the screen. He wears jeans and a stained t-shirt.
Nora stopped by today. It's been months since I've seen her. Did I say Nora? Oh, I meant Ahnah. Needless to say, I wasn't at my best.
Dr. Cartier takes a deep breath and slowly exhales.
Today was rough.
Dr. Cartier clicks stop on the recorder. Cut to the next entry. Dr. Cartier appears in front of a giant metal cage.
I've constructed this cage to hold the beast once I transform him. I've reverse engineered a mutation-inducing compound from Dr. McCoy's serum. I plan to study its effects on my alter ego.
Dr. Cartier holds up a small case filled with orange vials.
I will inject 3 vials and record the result.
Cut to next entry. Dr. Cartier appears on screen in tattered clothes. The entire lab is a wreck. It looks like a tornado ripped through it.
I got out of the cage.
Dr. Cartier picks up the small case filled his orange steroid compound. His right hand grabs 3 orange vials. It shakes ever so slightly.
The vials made my head cloudy, but I was still present. I must say it was quite a rush, being free of my memories, running through the snow.
A smile appears on Dr. Cartier's face. He doesn't notice.
I plan on using 4 vials next time.
He clicks stop. Cut to next entry. Dr. Cartier sits in front of the screen. He seems very depressed, not himself. His left hand firmly grasps his right wrist, trying to inhibit his hand tremors. His right hand shakes incessantly.
This is my final entry. I hope that you will be the one to see this, Dr. McCoy. If not, I hope that you see it one day. I am the Wendigo monster, the eater of human flesh. No amount of medication is going to change what I've done. As long as I'm human, I'll carry this burden with me. But to be the animal Hank, it's something to aspire to. No fear of judgment, no second guessing, just one central idea: survival.
Dr. Cartier holds up a bloody knife.
I found that death will not come to me. Frankly, I've explored that option twice. My only remaining option is to accept my genetics, Hank. If God has a plan, I've been ignoring it for far too long.
Dr. Cartier looks straight into the camera.
I know this must come as a shock to you, hearing that your serum was used improperly. I hope in time you can forgive me.
Paul struggles to hold back tears.
I'm ready, Hank. To relive without guilt or regrets. Can you imagine that, Hank? No regrets.
Paul picks up a small case, the same case that Hank found beside the VHS tape.
I've left this case for you. It holds the remaining doses of my compound. You can study it or destroy it, but I implore you to consider giving it a try. These woods are big enough for the both of us. Why not embrace your true self? Don't fight nature, Hank. Nature always wins.
The lab. Hank stares at the screen looking stunned. The tape freezes on Dr. Cartier's face. Tears run down Ahnah's face as she grabs the case of Dr. Cartier's steroid compound.
This is the answer, Hank.
She opens the case, exposing its 4 orange vials.
Fight fire with fire.
I don't want to be like him, Ahnah. I don't want to lose control.
On the video, he said he could still think clearly with 3 injections. You could try 2.
Even if this is Dr. Cartier's compound, there's no way of knowing that it's going to have the same concentration. For all I know, this could be doubled or triple its potency.
Do you trust him?
No, I don't trust him. This man took my serum and turned it into a weapon. The death he's caused your son, that's on me.
No, Hank. It's not your fault.
Hank turns his back to her. He's guilt-ridden.
Because of me, he's become even more dangerous.
Then you should use his compound against him.
What if I'm just as dangerous as he is? I could kill people, Ahnah.
You couldn't do that.
You don't know that.
Hank slams his fist against the table. The skin on the back of his hand turns light blue. Ahnah falls silent. She places the case of injections on the table.
We should get back.
Hank nods as Ahnah joins Bunkei in the hall. Hank's eyes return to the TV. Insert TV screen. Dr. Paul Cartier's face is frozen on the screen. The lab. Hank picks up Dr. Cartier's case of mutation-enhancing injections and exits the room. Interior hunting lodge day. A rabid mob gathers inside the large room. Hundreds of dead animals are mounted to the walls. The townspeople are armed with an assortment of rifles, shotguns, and pistols. Ethan talks with Kayla near the fireplace as Dave races into the lodge. The muscular man is out of breath.
They're dead.
A hush falls over the crowd.
Who's dead?
Darrell, Seelah, that thing got the whole group.
The level of chatter rises. The townspeople are angered and scared.
Hey, everybody calm down. We don't need to go hunting for that freak. We know where he is.
Ethan looks to Kayla. She steps forward. We see the scarred man standing in the background. He remains tranquil.
Early this morning, I saw the Inuit woman go through its room. She took its bags with her.
Inuit scum is a mutant sympathizer. She's housing the animal that killed our friends.
The crowd roars. They're ready for battle.
If you harbor a fugitive in this town, you're just as guilty as they are.
The crowd roars, yeah!
How much blood is to be spilled before about it?
No more.
Tonight we take the fight to them!
The crowd roars. Ethan nods, fueled by hatred. Interior log cabin, bathroom night. Hank takes a steamy shower. The hot water runs down on his bruised back. Hank rinses the shampoo from his hair. Hank's X-Watch sits on the bathroom sink beside 2 vials on Dr. Cartier's steroid compound. Hank steps out of the shower and dries off with a towel. Picks up the steroid vials. He stares at them, then drops them into the trash can. Hank exits the room, leaving his X-Watch on the sink. Interior log cabin. Living room, night. Ahnah sews in the living room while Bunkei wiggles her toes in front of the fireplace. Hank exits the bathroom in fresh clothes. He rubs a towel through his wet hair.
Feeling better?
Much better, thank you.
Hank sits down on the couch. He takes a sip of green tea.
Are you staying here tonight?
I mean, if you'll have me.
Bunkei smiles at Hank. He grins.
Bunkei and I feel safer when you're here.
The rest of the X-Men should be here by morning.
I look forward to meeting your friends.
Have you given any thought to joining us at the school?
Bunkei looks excitedly at her mother.
Perhaps one day. For now, our place is here.
Bunkei can't help but look disappointed.
Well, you're always welcome at Xavier School. I can promise you that.
Hank reaches out and touches Ahnah's hand.
Thank you, Hank.
Ahnah smiles as she looks into Hank's bright eyes. It's a romantic sight. Bunkei giggles from across the room.
What?
He wants to kiss you.
I didn't think she read minds.
She can sense feelings.
Hank clears his throat in his usual nerdy way.
Oh, it is starting to feel a little warm in here.
Bunkei and Ahnah smirk.
Yes, sir.
Bunkei, don't be so demand.
Hank leans in and kisses Ahnah's soft lips. Ahnah's eyes instantly close, enjoying the moment. Bunkei stands up and grins. It's a perfect moment. Crash! A flaming arrow flies through the cabin's window. It drills Bunkei in the thigh. The young girl screams as she drops to the ground. Her skin sizzles.
Bunkei!
Ahnah rushes to her daughter as Hank picks up the couch. He shoves it against the broken window. Thud, thud, thud. More arrows drill the couch.
Mom, it hurts.
Ahnah snaps off the end of the arrow. She struggles to stop Bunkei's bleeding. Someone breaks another window. He sticks his rifle inside the house.
Hank!
Hank sees the rifle's barrel. It's less than 5 feet from him. Hank grabs the barrel and shoves it toward the ceiling. Boom! The gun blows a hole in the ceiling. Hank gives a powerful jerk and the rifle slides across the floor. Erik, 30s, tall and muscular, jumps inside. He runs at Hank with a knife. Hank braces for the impact. Bam! Erik slams into Hank, knocking him against the wall. Erik grapples with the X-Man. His strength overpowers him. Hank groans as Eric's knife digs into his shoulder. Clang! Ahnah slams a cast iron skillet against Eric's head. Erik drops. His blood pools on the floor. Hank groans as he pulls out the knife. Bunkei points at the hole in the floor. Flames are visible.
Fire!
Exterior log cabin night. The house is completely ablaze. An archer fires flaming arrows at the roof. Ethan stands at a safe distance with binoculars.
Send him in.
Numerous hunters surround the house with high-powered rifles and shotguns. Interior log cabin continuous. Smoke rises in the living room. Hank carries Bunkei to the corner. Ahnah follows him.
Stay low. I'll be back.
Hank races down the hall as bullets drill the cabin. Ahnah grabs the cloth that she was sewing. She wraps it around Bunkei's bleeding thigh, making a tourniquet.
This is gonna hurt, child.
Ahnah pulls the tourniquet tight. Bunkei screams. Hallway. Boom. Bang. Crack. Bullets fly through the wood in front of Hank. He slides into the bathroom on his knees. Hank reaches for his X-Watch on the sink. Bang! A stray bullet destroys the watch. Hank drops to his stomach, barely avoiding the onslaught of rounds. Hank's eyes move to the bathroom trash. He knocks it over and reaches inside. Hank pulls out the 2 steroid vials. Hank removes the tip from the first vial, exposing its tiny needle. He hesitates for a split second, then shoves the needle into his bleeding shoulder. The long needle injects the orange liquid into his bloodstream. Hank screams in pain. His pupils dilate. Hallway. Hank slowly crawls toward Ahnah and Bunkei. He's turning green and in the face. Living room. Hank tries to stand but falls to his knees. He looks deathly ill. Hank injects the second vial into his leg. His hands turn green. Hank crawls 3 feet, then collapses into the puddle of blood beside Erik's body. The blood appears to be coming from Hank.
Mom, he's hurt.
Bunkei crawls toward Hank.
Bunkei!
Ahnah follows her brave daughter through the smoke. Bunkei coughs, struggling to breathe. They reach Hank and rock him back and forth.
Hank, can you hear me?
I'll draw them away. Get Bunkei out.
Hank appears to stop breathing.
Hank. Hank.
Boom! Hunter number 2 and Hunter number 3 kick in the front door. They both wield shotguns. They see Hank on the floor. He appears dead. They immediately relax.
Looks like Erik got the freak.
Too bad he didn't finish the job.
Ahnah and Bunkei retreat into the far corner. The hunters close in on them. Ahnah steps in front of Bunkei, trying to shield her.
What's wrong with you? This is our home.
Ain't nothing wrong with us.
We ain't the ones that brought in that freak.
The floor, Hank's green face turns blue. The transformation starts. The far corner, Hunter number 3 pulls out a long hunting knife.
Brought this on yourself, darling.
In the background, a massive blue form rises. It's a silent predator on the verge of a kill. It's Mega Beast! Mega Beast is nothing like its predecessor. Darker, twice as massive, a true force of nature. Saliva drips from his massive teeth. Bunkei's eyes move to Mega Beast. A low growl is heard like a lion. These 2 hunters spin around. It's too late. Mega Beast wraps its massive hands around their entire faces. The hunters can't breathe. They drop their weapons and pull on Mega Beast's fingers. They try to scream. No luck. Mega Beast lifts them off the ground. Their legs kick and their arms flail. The men stop moving and Mega Beast drops them. Ahnah picks up a shotgun. She doesn't aim at Mega Beast, but she wonders if she should. Mega Beast takes a step forward. They flinch in fear. Mega Beast bends down. He's inches from the girls. The creature growls, then turns around and jumps through the burning window. Mega Beast is too big to fit. His body destroys most of the wall. Exterior log cabin night. Mega Beast lands 20 feet from the house. He leaps again, traveling another 40 feet. A hunter aims his rifle at Mega Beast. It's too late. Mega Beast lands on top of him, crushing his body. Mega Beast roars as bullets drill the nearby snow. He jumps again, shooting off like a rocket. Across the property, Ethan stands with a group of 7 men. He lowers his binoculars.
What in God's name?
Shoot it!
The other hunters fire at Mega Beast near the house. Mega Beast gallops through the snow. His right hand picks up a heavy rock and hurls it at a hunter. Sorry. The rock drills the hunter in the stomach. He groans as it knocks him 10 feet. The hunter flies into another rifleman. The impact sends the rifleman to the ground. His gun fires. Bang! The rifleman's bullet hits another hunter in the ass. The ass-shot hunter groans as he drops to his knees. Mega Beast scoops him off the ground and uses him as a human shield. Mega Beast sprints towards the next shotgun shooter. The man fires his shotgun. It drills Mega Beast's human shield. The ass-shot hunter squeals like a girl. Mega Beast grabs the shotgun shooter by throat. He runs with 2 bodies in front of him, 1 in each hand. Exterior, snow-covered hill, night. Vroom, vroom. Loud motors rev. 3 black snowmobiles zoom across the snowy landscape. Gunshots echo in the night air as they zoom toward the billowing smoke over the hill. Interior log cabin continuous. Ahnah looks through the massive hole in the wall. She has a kitchen cloth wrapped around her nose and mouth. Mega Beast zooms across her eyeline. A husky hunter trails the X-Man. He raises his rifle to his shoulder, preparing to fire. Ahnah raises her rifle. She fires. Bang! A headshot. The husky hunter drops dead. Exterior log cabin continues. 2 hunters stand side by side. They fire their pump-action shotguns. Boom! Boom, boom, boom! They unload on Mega Beast. Mega Beast runs towards them, using his human shields as protection. Boom, boom, click! Hunter number 4 is out of ammo.
Shit.
Hunter 5 keeps firing. Mega Beast gains on them. Hunter 4 struggles to reload. His shaky hands drop a shell in the snow.
Hurry up!
Hunter 4 bends down to pick it. A loud roar causes him to look up.
Shit.
Mega Beast sails towards the hunters, kicking both men in the chest. Mega Beast lands on top of them. His claw feet latch onto the hunters, thick winter jackets. Mega Beast runs with the men underneath his feet, like they're human snow skis. Each violent step is accompanied by a loud scream. This stops after 4 steps. The men go limp. A scream comes from the burning cabin. Mega Beast spins around. He sees 2 men firing at Ahnah. Mega Beast roars. He hurls both of his human shields at the men. Both bodies slam into the 2 attackers. They zoom toward the cabin. Interior log cabin continuous. Thud, thud. The bodies crash against the outside wall. Bunkei hides behind Ahnah. The little girl looks up at the ceiling. The ceiling cracks.
Mom!
Ahnah looks up as the roof collapses. Flaming boards fall toward them. Ahnah shoves Bunkei out of the way. She covers her head as the debris hits her.
Mom!
Bunkei crawls toward the debris pile. She coughs as she lifts the smaller boards off the pile. One of the boards is covered in flames. It burns her hand. Bunkei grimaces as she lets go. Bunkei takes 2 deep breaths and grabs the burning wood with renewed vigor. She throws it to the side. Bunkei grapples the larger, heavier board. She grunts as the roof creaks above her. It breaks her concentration. The house could fall any second.
Mom, help me!
Bunkei grunts as she lifts the heavy board. The board rises into the air. Ahnah emerges. She's covered in black soot, but unharmed. Bunkei scales the debris and hugs her mother.
Come on, we have to get out of here.
Ahnah stumbles into the kitchen and reaches behind the refrigerator. She retrieves a long item wrapped in a heavy rug.
This way.
Ahnah leads Bunkei out of the door as the room caves in. Interior log cabin, continuous. Ahnah and Bunkei flee their burning home. Ahnah pulls Bunkei along. Her injured leg slows her down. Across the property, Mega Beast's giant fist pummels someone's head into the ground. Bang, bang! Shots zoom over Mega Beast's head. One shell drills its shoulder. Mega Beast roars! 3 armed men approach on snowmobiles. Mega Beast hurls the rifle at the left snowmobile. Boom! It drills the driver's face. He rolls off the snowmobile and the vehicle slows to a stop. The remaining 2 snowmobiles zoom toward Mega Beast, firing their atomic rifles. Automatic rifles. Mega Beast lifts the dead human off the ground and twirls him in the air. Mega Beast hurls the corpse at the right snowmobile. The corpse spins with a circular rotation like a deadly helicopter plane. The snowmobile driver swerves to avoid the speeding body. His snowmobile slams into the other snowmobile. Both spin out of control. The first snowmobile collides with a tree. Instant death. The other crashes into a rock. The impact sends the driver into the air. He lands on his back and groans. A shadow appears over him, something high in the sky. Mega Beast point of view, 50 feet in the air. Mega Beast zooms towards the attacker on the ground. The attacker sees Mega Beast and screams. He covers his face as Mega Beast roars. Mega Beast lands on the man, delivering one hell of a punch. Near the cabin, Ahnah drags Bunkei to safety. Gunshots echo in the air.
Mom, I'm scared.
Keep running.
Jeep lights shine on Ahnah and Bunkei. Dave speeds towards them in a military jeep. Jeep driver point of view. His hands are at 10 and 2 on the steering wheel. He's on a direct course for Ahnah and her daughter. A loud roar in the distance. An airborne snowmobile flies towards his windshield.
Shit.
He cuts the steering wheel, barely missing the object. The Jeep does a 270-degree spin. Dave saves it, regaining traction. He floors the gas, gaining on Ahnah and Bunkei.
I have you now.
Another snowmobile comes flying out of the Jeep. It lands just short of the front bumper. The Jeep flips into the air. Slow motion, loose coins fly in front of Dave's face. Mega Beast point of view, we see the Jeep flipping in the air. It's coming straight toward the camera. Top, 2 massive blue arms shoot out. Mega Beast catches the Jeep. Dave's forehead slams into the windshield. It cracks. Across the property, Ethan and his fellow hunters watch in horror. Near the house, Mega Beast growls as he holds the Jeep into a metal cube, just like a junkyard machine. Across the property, Ethan drops his binoculars. He's stunned. Blue lights flash in the distance. We hear the sheriff's siren. Many of the remaining hunters flee. The sheriff's headlights land on Mega Beast. The creature roars, then races into the woods. Ethan watches as his troops run to their trucks.
Where are you going? Cowards!
Ethan looks back at the 2 young hunters. They stand their ground. We're with you.
Come on!
Ethan and the 2 hunters race into the woods after Mega Beast. Near the house, Sheriff Joe's SUV pulls up to the burning cabin. He exits the vehicle with his gun drawn.
God almighty.
Joe runs towards the flaming cabin. He yells through the broken window.
Ahnah! Bunkei!
Sheriff!
Joe spins around, his gun aimed at the girls. He recognizes them and instantly lowers it. Ahnah carries in an unconscious Bunkei. The young girl looks deathly pale.
Ahnah, what happened?
Men attacked us. We barely escaped.
Are you hurt?
No, but Bunkei's been hit.
Sheriff Joe takes Bunkei from Ahnah. He loads her into the passenger seat of his SUV.
Get in. I'll get you to the hospital.
I can't come.
I'm not leaving you here.
My place is here. Yours is with my daughter.
Sheriff Joe runs to the driver's door.
I'm coming back for you.
Go!
Sheriff Joe floors the gas. The SUV zooms towards the main road. Ahnah runs in the opposite direction. She picks up the long item wrapped in a rug and sprints towards the woods. The cabin burns in the background. Exterior dark forest night. Megabeast runs on all fours, moving deep into the forest. A bullet drills the tree bark on his left. Megabeast veers right. Running faster, he leaps over a fallen log, soaring through the air. Megabeast kicks off a thick tree trunk and sails 30 feet to his right, making his trail impossible to track. Tall, shale rock. Megabeast lands near the giant rock. It provides cover from the hunters. Megabeast leans against the flat side of the rock. He breathes fast, struggling to cover from the battle. Megabeast looks up at the night stars. Bright moonlight shines on the forest. Megabeast rubs his right shoulder. He looks at his paw. It's covered in blood. Megabeast shakes his head, fighting to remain conscious. A branch snaps behind him. Megabeast perks up. His head slowly rises above the rock. His eyes scan the trees for movement. To his right, a bush rustles. Megabeast stares at it, waiting. Nothing emerges. Megabeast picks up a loose rock and hurls it at the bush. A skunk sprints out. Megabeast snorts. A loud howl permeates the night air. Megabeast's eye darts in every direction. He's on edge. From behind, we see something flying through the air. It's small at first, but it quickly grows in size. Wendigo's monstrous form is outlined by the moonlight. It soars toward Megabeast's backside. The blue X-Man is completely unaware. Wendigo is seconds from impact, its sharp claws at the ready. Boom! A brownish blur tackles Megabeast from the side, knocking him out of the way. Wendigo lands on the ground, its claws cut into the rock, right where Megabeast's head would have been. A soft thud. Wendigo looks down. A grenade lands at its feet. The monster jumps as the grenade detonates. Boom! A cloud of dust fills the air. Downhill, Megabeast and Wolverine tumble down the steep slope. Wolverine's adamantium claws shoot out of his hands. He stabs the ground and comes to a halt. Megabeast slams into a tree. The bark cracks. Megabeast jumps up. Takes an aggressive stance. Wolverine walks toward him. He wears his brown and yellow uniform. Easy, fella. Megabeast growls, displaying his primal rage. The blue monster circles Wolverine, preparing to strike. Wolverine retracts his claws. He raises his hands. Charles, a little help. Megabeast growls. He snorts warm air.
Hank, can you hear me?
Megabeast shakes his head. He's confused. Interior Xavier's mansion, Cerebro, same. Xavier sits at Cerebro. He looks emotional.
Your mind is fragmented, but I can still see you.
Exterior wood, same. Megabeast howls, covering its ears with its paw.
Your mind is fragmented, but I can still see you. Yes, Hank, come back to us. Clear your mind.
Megabeast puts his paws over his ears.
Breathe, Hank. You're in control.
Megabeast takes several deep breaths. He's calmed down. A flock of birds flies overhead. Wolverine's eyes search the trees. He sniffs the air. Wendigo's close. Anytime now, kid.
What's going on?
You're in the forest with Logan. Dr. Cartier's creature is coming for you.
Megabeast's eyes land on Wolverine.
Logan?
Now you're talking some sense. Across the hill, Ethan spots Megabeast. The blue monster stands still. Ethan grins. He spits tobacco juice on the ground.
Now I've got you.
He raises the high-powered rifle to his shoulder. Rifle scope point of view. The sights hover on Megabeast's chest. Suddenly, hot breath fogs up the scope. Side angle. Ethan's head slowly turns to the left. Wendigo is right beside him. Ground. The rifle lands on the snow. We hear a loud roar and a human scream. Red blood splatters onto the snow. Downhill. Wolverine glances in the direction of the scream. He looks back at Megabeast. We good? Megabeast stands straight up. His posture is relaxed.
We're good.
Wendigo howls in the distance. Wolverine sniffs the air. Follow me. Wolverine leads Megabeast deeper into the woods, edge of the tree line. Wolverine and Megabeast crouch by the trees. They stare into an open field. Nothing moves. Wolverine rubs his cold, naked arms.
Isn't it a little cold for no sleeves?
Bite me. Megabeast roars. He attempts to bite Wolverine's shoulder. Wolverine throws his forearm up, blocking him. Hey! Megabeast pulls back. He shakes his head.
I gotta get off these steroids.
Wolverine sniffs the air. He's close.
What's the plan?
Kill it and go inside. It is too damn cold.
I wish we could save him.
He doesn't seem too interested in saving us. Wolverine walks down into the clearing.
Logan, what are you doing?
Wolverine's adamantium blades shoot out of his hand. He clangs his claws together, screaming a warrior's cry. Rah! Demonic roar comes from the distant tree line. Now we're talking. The distant bushes shake. Heavy footsteps get louder and louder. Come on, you bastard! A grizzly bear emerges racing toward Wolverine. What? Hell! Wolverine now braces for the speeding bear, raising his face like Muhammad Ali. 4 soft thuds to his left. Wendigo moves towards Wolverine at lightning speed. The monster slams into Wolverine, taking him to the ground. They slide for 30 feet, edge of the woods. Megabeast races toward them. He leaps into the air. The clearing. Wendigo sees Megabeast coming. He backhands the blue animal. Megabeast flies towards the stampeding bear. Thud! Megabeast collides with the grizzly bear. The bear bites into the back of Megabeast's neck. Megabeast fights to pull the bear's jaws apart. Wendigo claws at Wolverine's face. Wolverine shields his face with his muscular forearms. Wendigo's attack is relentless. Flesh flies off Wolverine's arms. His adamantium ulna bones shine in the moonlight. Sparks fly as Wendigo's claws scrape against Wolverine's adamantium bones. Edge of the woods. 2 hunters step into the moonlight. They aim at Wendigo. Bang, bang! The first bang, bang. The first round enters Wendigo's shoulder. The other nicks its ear. Wendigo howls in pain. The monster hurls Wolverine at the hunters. Edge of the woods. Wolverine's heavy body slams into the men, killing them. Wolverine stands up. His forearm bones are still visible. Wolverine picks up one of the hunter's rifles. The barrel is bent to the right. Wolverine drops it. He picks up the second rifle and aims it at Wendigo. The white wolf races toward Megabeast and the grizzly bear. Wolverine pulls the trigger. Click! Nothing. Fuck me! Wolverine drops the gun. He watches as his forearms regenerate tissue. He's ready for round 2. Megabeast growls as he pries the grizzly's jaws apart. He sees Wendigo racing toward him. Megabeast jumps straight up as Wendigo dives at him. Wendigo tackles the bear as Megabeast lands on Wendigo's back. He claws at Wendigo's throat as the grizzly bites into Wendigo's knee. Wendigo snaps the bear's neck and flings it over his back. The grizzly's corpse slams into Megabeast. After 3 hits, Megabeast lets go. He's disoriented. Wendigo hurls the bear at Megabeast. It knocks him on his ass. With Wendigo distracted, Wolverine slides in behind it. His adamantium claws slice through the back of Wendigo's right knee. Its tendons snap and Wendigo drops to its knees. Wolverine roars, rah, as he stabs the monster's chest. Wendigo swipes at Wolverine's head. He ducks, delivering a flurry of claw punches. Wendigo howls in pain as Wolverine appears to slaughter it. He walks off as Wendigo slumps over. Megabeast stands up as Wolverine peels back his mask. He's all yours, bub. Wolverine walks off. Megabeast stares at the wounded monster. Wendigo's cuts heal. It stands up.
Logan?
Wolverine turns around. His face says, "You gotta be kidding me!" Well, shit. Wolverine pulls his mask over his face. Throw me at its head.
Why?
So I can cut it off. Megabeast's eyes move from Wolverine to Wendigo.
You sure about this?
No, but I'm cold. Throw me. Megabeast grabs Wolverine's ankles and hurls him at Wendigo. Wolverine leads it with claws as he soars through the air. Wendigo ducks. Wolverine zooms into the forest. Trees crack in the distance. It sounds as if Wolverine traveled for miles. Embarrassing. Exterior sawmill. Wolverine's battle cry gets exponentially louder as he flies through the trees. Ah! Ah! His main body slams on the outside of the secluded sawmill. Tall stacks of logs and heavy machinery surround the property. 10 feet to Wolverine's right is the large opening for loading trucks. Exterior clearing and forest night. Wendigo breathes faster and faster. Its rage building. The monster's abdomen expels warm breath through its 6 air holes. It growls at Megabeast. 2 creatures stare at each other, each waiting on the other to make the first move.
I'm sorry, Paul, but this has to stop.
Megabeast races towards Wendigo. The white monster pulls its arm back, preparing to strike. Seconds before impact, Megabeast leaps into the air. The blue X-Man performs a front flip. Wendigo swipes at Megabeast's head. Its claws miss by a single inch. As Megabeast flips over Wendigo, his blue feet latch onto Wendigo's head. Megabeast grunts. He flings Wendigo into the sky. The white wolf zooms over the forest trees. Interior sawmill continuous. Wolverine's body heals as he gets to his feet. He hears a loud crash as Wendigo soars into the sawmill through the truck loading area. Numerous metal clangs are heard. Suddenly the sawmill's machinery comes to life. The conveyor belt carries Conveyor belts carry logs into the facility. Loud saws buzz as they cut through the wood. Perfect! Wolverine cautiously enters the building. Interior sawmill continuous. The loud noises make it hard to track the animal. Wolverine sees blood. Sees drops of blood on the sawdust-covered floor. He follows the trail around the corner. Wendigo leaps down from a stack of logs and wraps a metal chain around Wolverine's neck. Wendigo's foot digs into Wolverine's back. It tugs on the chain with all its strength. Wolverine can't breathe. His right hand shoots up his claws, slice through the chain. Wolverine swings wildly at the creature. It leaps backwards, dodging the strike. Wolverine runs at the white wolf. Wendigo picks up a log and hurls it at him. Wolverine jumps just high enough to miss the log. His feet kick off the log. He zooms toward Wendigo. Wendigo raises his forearms to protect his face. Wolverine's claws stab the monster's forearm. The tips of his claws are visible on the other side of Wendigo's arm. Wendigo howls as Wolverine kicks off his chest, freeing his claws. Wendigo's arm heals as it leaps onto conveyor belt. The creature grunts, using its leg strength to jump into the rafters above them. Show off! Wolverine races to the wall. He uses his claws to climb to the rafters. Megabeast sprints into the sawmill. He sees Wendigo on the rafters. Megabeast leaps off the wall and lands in front of Wendigo. Rafters. Megabeast and Wendigo battle above the roaring equipment. Megabeast lands several blows and Wendigo backpedals. Wendigo leaps toward a tall structural beam. Megabeast leaps after it. Big mistake! Wendigo's claws grab the beam. He uses it to swing his body back around toward Megabeast. Boom! Wendigo's feet drill Megabeast's chest. Megabeast falls 60 feet and lands beside the largest saw in the building. Its massive blades spin at an incredible rate. Wolverine reaches the rafters. He charges at Wendigo. He carefully navigating the slender beams. Wendigo spots him and roars. It throws loose metal parts at Wolverine. Wolverine dodges the first tool. The second and third hit him, causing him to lose his balance. Wolverine leaps towards the nearest beam. His hands grab onto the rusted metal, and the beam gives slightly. Wolverine glances at the beam's edges. The loose bolts are barely holding it together. A loud roar. Wolverine looks up to see Wendigo sailing towards the beam. Shit! Wolverine lets go and Wendigo lands on the beam. The beam snaps. Wendigo and the beam press against Wolverine's chest as he falls to the air. Clang! Wolverine lands on a sliding conveyor belt. Wendigo and the heavy beam rest on top of his chest. Wolverine grunts. Huh! His arms are pinned by the heavy beam. He can't move. The conveyor belt moves toward a buzzing saw. Hank! Wendigo salivates over Wolverine's pinned body. He pulls his arms back to swing. An airborne forklift collides with Wendigo, sending him across the room. Megabeast leaps into the air and lands over Wolverine. Get this thing off of me! Megabeast bends down to lift the heavy beam. Boom! The damaged forklift flies into Megabeast, sending him across the room. Wolverine exhales in frustration, still pinned. God damn it! The conveyor belt moves Wolverine closer to the buzzing saw. Wendigo leaps over Wolverine and grabs the dazed Megabeast. Wendigo hurls him forcefully into the air. Megabeast sails through the rotted rooftop and into the night sky. Seconds later, Megabeast crashes through the roof 10 feet past the first hole. He lands on a massive conveyor belt that carries whole trees through the sawmill. The 80-foot-high conveyor belt ends above a giant industrial wood mulcher. The logs fall straight down to their demise. A dazed Megabeast rubs his bloody forehead. Thump! Wendigo lands several feet behind Megabeast. The creature lifts up one of the tree trunks. It tries to push it onto Megabeast. Megabeast leaps to his feet. He pushes against the other side of the tree trunk. It's a battle of pure strength. Wendigo howls. Its mouth salivates as it snaps at Megabeast's paws. Megabeast constantly moves his hands, fighting to keep the tree upright. Ground floor. Ahnah rushes into the sawmill. She sees Megabeast fighting Wendigo. She raises her stolen serum rifle. Hey! Over there! Ahnah turns to see Wolverine. His head is inches from the saw on the conveyor belt. Ahnah races to the control panel and hits the emergency stop button. The conveyor belt stops seconds before Wolverine would have gotten a bad haircut. Conveyor belt battle above the machinery. Wendigo forces the log past its tilting point. It's about to fall into Megabeast. Bang! A serum dart drills Wendigo's neck. The monster howls as its body trembles. It lets go of the tree trunk. Megabeast forces the tree off the conveyor belt, not realizing that it falls toward Ahnah. Ahnah doesn't see the danger. She fires a second dart into Wendigo's abdomen. It enters one of its air holes. Wendigo drops to its knees. It howls in pain. Ground floor. The tree trunk slams into a pile of logs to Ahnah's left. It knocks them loose. The logs speed toward her. Ahnah dives behind a metal control panel near the wall. She barely fits. The logs slam into the control panel, shoving it against the wall. Ahnah moans. She's being crushed by the weight. Conveyor belt battle above the machinery. Megabeast punches the shrinking Wendigo monster. The white wolf struggles to fight back. Megabeast catches Wendigo's arm and hurls the creature toward the end of the conveyor belt. Wendigo disappears over the ledge. Megabeast leaps to the end of the conveyor belt. He sees the white wolf's leg wrapped around a metal chain. It dangles over the industrial wood mulcher. Megabeast watches as Wendigo's transformation reverses. Its white hair falls off as its long snout retracts. The fangs in its mouth return to human teeth. Dr. Cartier returns to himself. He gasps for breath.
Dr. Cartier, can you hear me?
Dr. Cartier squints up at Megabeast.
Boy?
Dr. Cartier's shrinking size causes his leg to slip free from the loop in the metal chain.
Oh,
Dr. Cartier's left hand grabs onto the chain. His grip is the only thing keeping him from being shredded into 1,000 pieces.
use 2 hands. I can't pull you up.
Dr. Cartier looks down at the machinery below his feet. He grabs the chain with 2 hands as Megabeast pulls him toward the conveyor belt.
Hank, help! I can't breathe!
Megabeast and Dr. Cartier turn to see Ahnah. She's pale in the face, barely visible between the wall and the crushed control panel.
Hang on, Paul. I'll come back for you.
Megabeast wraps the chain around a nearby beam. The chain snaps. Dr. Cartier screams as Megabeast dives for the chain, barely grabbing onto its end. Dr. Cartier dangles his 6 feet above the loud mulcher. His left hand is the only thing holding him to the chain. Dr. Cartier makes eye contact with Megabeast.
Save Ahnah, Hank.
Megabeast frantically pulls on the chain, dragging Dr. Cartier away from the industrial mulcher.
I can save you both.
Monsters can't be saved. They can only be stopped.
Don't do this.
Hank!
Take care of her, Hank.
No!
Dr. Cartier closes his eyes and releases the chain. He falls into the wood chipper. Its loud blades rev up, completing the task. Megabeast leaps across the room. He presses his legs against the wall and pushes against the cross control panel. Megabeast grunts, finally creating enough space for Ahnah to crawl out. She gasps for breath, but appears unharmed.
Ahnah, are you okay?
The nightmare is over.
Hey! Over here. Stationary conveyor belt. Megabeast lifts the heavy beam off Wolverine's chest. Wolverine looks over his bloody companion. You alright? Ahnah joins the 2 X-Men. She leans on Megabeast.
We will be.
Wolverine pats Megabeast on the arm as he walks off. You owe me one.
I think we're even.
Wolverine smirks as he exits the sawmill. Megabeast turns his attention to Ahnah.
Where'd you get my rifle?
I've always had it.
Why?
I didn't want you to save him. Not after what he's done.
Megabeast's eyes move to the wood mulcher.
At least his pain is over.
Ahnah wraps her arms around Megabeast's neck. He carries her outside. Exterior sawmill continuous. The cold wind blows as they exit the sawmill. A jet engine hums in the distance. Megabeast looks up. He sees the black bird.
That seems about right.
The blackbird descends from the sky. Its black hole fills up the screen. Fade to black. Fade in. Exterior log cabin day. The X-Men perform chores outside of Ahnah's rebuilt cabin. Scott stacks the logs on a flat stump, and Wolverine chops them with his metal claw. Nightcrawler transports the chopped wood to the side of the house where Jean stacks it. Xavier rolls up to Wolverine in his wheelchair. He wears a heavy coat and a toboggan.
Logan, it's nice to see you.
I thought you'd be taller. Xavier smirks as he approaches him. Jean glances away from her stacking duty. She's clearly taken with Wolverine.
I suppose we've got some catching up to do.
I think you've given me enough to mull over between time travel and robots.
I understand it can be difficult to process. When you're ready, you're welcome at the mansion.
Wolverine glances at Jean. She smirks, then returns to work. It's clear Wolverine has his eyes on her. Maybe in a few years. Scott watches Wolverine climbs into the pickup truck. Scott looks down at an axe.
I guess I'll finish.
Scott picks up the axe and chops the wood. Front of cabin, Ahnah's left arm rests in a sling. She and Bunkei stand in front of the rebuilt cabin. Hank approaches the cabin in his human form.
Have some incredible friends, Hank.
Hank watches them work together to help Ahnah and Bunkei.
Yeah, I do.
Bunkei runs forward and hugs his legs.
Don't go.
Hank rubs the back of Bunkei's head as he looks up at him.
Aren't you tired of me yet?
Bunkei shakes her head, no. Xavier rolls up and gets their attention. Bunkei steps back.
Professor, this is Ahnah and Bunkei.
It's an honor to meet you in person.
The honor is mine. Your people are truly kind.
We take great joy in helping others, both mutant and human.
Are you really here?
Take my hand.
Bunkei squeezes Xavier's hand.
You're cold.
Next time I'll remember my gloves.
Bunkei grins as Ahnah surveys the generosity of the X-Men.
You can rest easy tonight. Your neighbors won't be bothering you anymore.
Ahnah's confused by Xavier's words.
What makes you believe this?
I've altered their memories. As far as they know, your cabin was never harmed and the Wendigo creature is still a fantasy.
You can do that?
There's not much he can't do.
Bunkei walks closer to Professor X. She appears emotional.
Can you help me?
I can try.
Bunkei seems a little uncomfortable.
I don't want to remember how my brother died. Can you fix me?
Xavier looks sympathetic. His eyes move to her mother. Ahnah nods. Xavier wipes a tear from Bunkei's eye.
There's no need to cry. Everything's going to be fine.
Exterior log cabin day flashback. Seelah chops wood near the cabin. Bunkei throws her volleyball in the air. Seelah glares at his sister. He yells at her.
Your brother was a kind man.
The memory distorts. We see Seelah smiling at his sister.
But he had to go away. To help people.
We see the bloody ball in the snow. The memory distorts. Seelah walks out of the woods with the clean ball. He throws it to his younger sister. She giggles as they play together. Near the cabin, Seelah hugs his mother and Bunkei, who wears a military uniform. They wave as he drives off in a military jeep. Exterior log cabin, present day. Xavier strokes the young girl's cheek.
Now rest.
Bunkei collapses into Hank's arms. He carries her into the cabin.
You're a good man, Professor, and your X-Men will always be welcome on my land.
It's very kind. Hank mentioned that you had some innate abilities. If we ever want to develop your telepathy further, you and Bunkei have a place at my school.
I'll keep that in mind.
Hank returns from inside as the X-Men make their way to the Blackbird. Xavier notices that the work is complete.
I suppose it's time we venture home. Take care, Ahnah.
You too, Professor.
Xavier rolls off as Hank turns to Ahnah.
Guess this is goodbye.
My door is always open to friends.
Well, I look forward to catching up.
Ahnah softly chuckles.
What?
You're thinking about kissing me.
And that's funny?
Ahnah moves in and softly kisses him.
Don't be a stranger, Hank.
I'll see what I can do.
Interior Blackbird day, Hank climbs inside with his bags. The rest of the X-Men stare at their smitten friend.
What's got you smiling?
Hank makes eye contact with Jean as he sits down. She grins, having told everyone what happened.
Buckle up, everyone.
Exterior Blackbird continuous. The sound of thunder as the Blackbird's engine roar to life. The engine's exhaust blows snow into the air, rises into the sky, and flies over the dense forest. Exterior edge of the forest day. The scarred man watches the Blackbird fly home. He stands with normal posture, not like before, holding one of Dr. Cartier's orange steroid vials. The scarred man smirks, exposing his jagged teeth. As his facial scars disappear, he is Mr. Sinister. The end.
So he was the one to do
Yeah, so twisty reveal for the sequel that never was. Thank y'all for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.